The NFL is on EA Sports, and we are in Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the New York Jets. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here goes Hunt. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Here we go, D. Here we go.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Darnold from the gun is brought in by Jamison Crowder. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
17 yards. First down, New York.
Here goes Hunt. Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Crunch time, defense. Here we go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Mike,
At the 42-yard line.
Mike 54. I'm on. Ready.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Hey, watch that.
3rd and long. It's Darnold. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Here we go, son. Mike 54. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys.
Out of the shotgun. Here's Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell there to make the grab. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Sam Ficken now for the Jet field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He was brought down by Brandon Copeland. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
So how many more years are we going to define this position as running back? I really feel like we're evolving into something else because they have to be such a hybrid, don't they? Guys who can run it, but they love to have those guys with hands like a wide receiver.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, Raheem Mostert, he was great in that NFC title game, 220 yards. But Super Bowl, 58 yards on 12 carries, though he did score the touchdown in the third quarter to put the Niners up 20-10.
And think about the journey of Raheem Mostert and what he's traveled. That he has a 220-yard game, 4 touchdowns in the NFC title game that you just mentioned. But only getting 12 carries in the Super Bowl, I don't think in his wildest dreams he would have thought, I only got 12 carries in a Super Bowl? That tells you how valuable he became and what people will focus on. And don't forget Tevin Coleman, the great comeback from the dislocated shoulder against Green Bay in the title game. 5 carries, 28 yards in the Super Bowl, came back to start that game, showed a great amount of toughness, but they didn't run it nearly as much as we expected, and they ended up with the result that maybe was unexpected too, a loss in the Super Bowl.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll run it with Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations, 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Mike, number 53, Mike 53! You ain't got nothing, you ain't got nothing!
Now Mostert. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Jets are going to get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9. Darnold on the catch. It's Crowder. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Set.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Darnold going to lead the offense up first and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got a man, Demaryius Thomas. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down. Darnold going to lead the offense up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all.
Brings up second and 9 at the 29-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. They'll keep it on the ground again here. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And now look at him go. The 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even? They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
First down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Just like that. Just like that.
Here's Mostert. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Omaha. Yeah. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. 180.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Coleman now. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 34 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Don't get nervous.
Again, it's Bell. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means...
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 33, and he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year, John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill, no surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, that credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On 4th down, Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And out across midfield down to the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Darnold. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now this throw caught left side. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Darnold completes to Bell, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Darnold into the hands of his receiver Anderson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Handoff, Coleman, right side. Finding room inside the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone. So the lead stretches from 9 up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the victory here for San Francisco. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were at home.